Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Capital Concepts, the video version. My name is Jeff Schuler. I am the Director of Research and Chief Analyst for Spiker Metals here in Deerfield Beach, Florida. You can listen to Capital Concepts, the audio version, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9 o'clock on WSBR radio in South Florida at 740 on the AM dial, or if you are on the internet like you are right now, you can listen at the same time on WSBRradio.com, but throughout the day we have the shows archived at spikermetals.com. It's SPYKER metals.com. The show is dedicated towards bringing you the truth in economics, the truth in investing, what's really going on in our country and around the world today that affects you, the investor. Now, one of the first things I want to talk about today is the reality of inflation and how it's going to affect your money. Our government is telling us right now that our banks are fine. They're telling us that they can print all this money, it's not going to affect you. That inflation is under control. And honestly, nothing could be farther from the truth. We are facing hyperinflation on a scale that hasn't been seen in many, many decades. You cannot print the amount of money that we are printing without it coming home to roost. I have a chart here. I like this type of stuff. It shows that the massive bailouts will trigger massive inflation. That the money supply in 2009 was approaching $16 trillion, trillion with a T. And only 10 years ago, actually 8 years ago in 2001, it was half of that. Half of that. Now our economy has been pretty much flat overall during that time period. You cannot have a twofold increase in the money supply without economic growth when you don't have anything backing the currency. It is going to cause hyperinflation. It's why so many things cost so much more today. And you can look throughout the internet and find 1,000 examples of how this works. What do? How do you protect yourself? How do you make money? Well, the simple thing is to invest in physical commodities, but the ones that are going to increase in value and also protect your net worth. Gold, silver, platinum, palladium, precious metals are the place to be. As a matter of fact, right now, we are seeing an explosion, a literal explosion in the price. We've got gold hitting a record high as I speak at $1,040 an ounce. Silver is at $1,735. Platinum's at $1,313 an ounce. Palladium, one of my favorite and best opportunities right now, is at $306 an ounce. $306 an ounce, and just in May, when we first started recommending it, it was $232 an ounce. And we talk more about that in future episodes of the show. One area that individuals have lost literally trillions of dollars in is the most important part of their investment portfolio, and that's our IRAs. 401ks and IRAs have been decimated. People have lost 25, 30, 40, and even 50% in their retirement accounts. Now, if you are in your 50s or 60s and you've lost 30 or 40 or 50% on your money, think about this. It takes, at 10% earnings a year, almost 4 years to make back a 30% loss. It takes almost 5 years to make out a 40% loss. And literally, at 10% earnings compounded a year, it takes 7.2 years to make back a 50% loss. Now, do you think that's in the cards? Doing things the way you've been doing it, the stock market, bonds, CDs, things like that, to make that back, just to get back to where you were? I don't think so either. Now, one of the things that we've been doing at Spiker to help not only stop the bleeding but to recoup those losses is to diversify into precious metals. We have a number of programs available for that, and we have been making people whole. We've been getting them back on the road to recovery, but more importantly, we've been giving them something that they haven't had: peace of mind. The knowledge that it doesn't matter what happens to this economy. It doesn't matter how many banks fail. It doesn't matter how many people lose their jobs. Your money's safe. Your investments are secure, and your retirement is assured. Now let's talk about some things and how it works. Now, if you want more information, I've got a great, absolutely great package here on investing in your IRA in gold and precious metals, stabilize your financial security. We use the Entrust Group. Absolutely fantastic organization. One of the few companies out there that is approved to do IRAs and with precious metals in them. And I recommend that tremendously. Precious metals protect against depreciating dollars. Since gold and precious metals, I'm going to read this, are priced and traded in U.S. dollars, they surge in value when the U.S. dollar declines. As trillions of new money is printed, the dollar and other currencies will fall precipitously relative to gold. Now we're seeing this. I saw a clip just a couple of days ago that showed that how gold and silver maintain their value. That in 1964, a quarter, because remember they used to mint them, the 90% was silver, 10% was copper. That in 1964, a quarter got you a gallon of milk. Here's the interesting thing. That same quarter, that exact same quarter, if you were traded in for the silver, the value of the silver at today's prices would get you the same gallon of milk at about $3 and change. Interesting. We look at a Corvette. Nice brand spanking new Corvette, about $55,000, cost you about 60 ounces of gold. Back when, guess what? Same thing would have cost you 60 ounces of gold. But that $1,000, $1,200, it's now $55,000 in cost. Honest to God, ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. dollar has dropped in value so much that from the turn of last century to the turn of this century, and a couple years later, that dollar, that piece of paper, 2 cents. It gets you 2 cents. You're losing money, you're going broke, and you don't even know it. Now, the good news is we can do something about it. We can make money back, and we can make money back quickly. But you have to act, because time is not a luxury that we have right now. Things are happening, and they're happening quickly. We are seeing a tremendous surge in the value of these metals. As a matter of fact, in May alone, silver rose 29% in price. 29%. Gold, as I said before, $1,040, $1,041 an ounce. There's a reason for that. It's breaking out, and it's breaking out quickly. One of those reasons is, again, the collapse of the U.S. dollar. We are seeing it right in front of our eyes, and we have to do something about it. We have to. Other thing, and I love, I mean, I've got so much stuff here, it's incredible. But this right here, China alarmed by U.S. money printing. Now, my big deal, and if you follow me and you look at what I've written and you listen to many things that I've said, and you've heard the interviews that I have been a part of, I've gone on and on and on about China and the role that they play in the global economy and how they are, honestly, the yuan is going to be the next international currency. I don't really think there's any two ways about it. And I fully expect the yuan to be backed by gold. And boy, is that going to set some shockwaves off. China's alarmed by U.S. money printing. They have a large percentage of our debt. When they stop buying our debt, who's going to be left to buy it? When they stop buying our treasuries, our debt, what's going to happen? Interest rates are going to skyrocket. They're already doing it. They're trading out the paper that they have. They're decreasing what they're going into. And where are they putting it? They're putting it in gold. Every time there's a pullback in gold, they buy. It's called the China put. It's an amazing situation. We'll talk more about that as time goes along. But here's what I was looking for. You're going to love this, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, you're not going to love it. You're going to hate it. A development in the way our government handles its debt. A little known fact,